So as Chase was saying, there are 4 teams that currently have the longest drought without winning their division. Some of these are, as you would expect, they're not really shocking. So we have the Detroit Lions. It's been 29 seasons since they've won their division. The Cleveland Browns, even longer at 33 seasons. And then you have the Vegas Raiders and the New York Jets, both at 20 seasons. Now, this isn't right. They've obviously made the playoffs more recently. This isn't
Yeah.
about the playoffs. This is about winning their division. It's been that long, 20 plus years, since they've been able to win their division. So the question here is, of these 4 teams, which one will win their division first?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the key, right? We're not talking about playoffs because there's some teams that I think can get in the playoffs a lot easier than winning their division. But I think the first team that can win their division, the closest chance, is the Detroit Lions. Simply because that division, I think each team is as good as the next in that division. I don't think there's that's a division where someone has to be 4 and someone has to be 1. I think all of those records will kind of reflect that, right? The Vikings, they didn't really help out their defense too much. They focus on offense a lot early in the draft. They still have Kirk Cousins, which I don't believe in. The Bears, they're coming up, trending upwards, but they still have that defensive head coach. And Justin Fields looks like he's scared to pass. He looked completely different Justin Fields than we're seeing at Ohio State. So is he ever going to get over that? I think so, but who knows? And the Packers are just completely kind of retooling, right? They're a franchise guy for so many years. The longest tenured Packer of all time, Aaron Rodgers, has left the team. The DeAndre Hopkins left last year. That defense has a lot of first-round picks, but can never really put it together until about week 17. So that division's up for grabs, and Detroit's on the up and up. Dan Campbell seems to have them guys. They did a questionable draft, but they got better at every position. They just did a questionable draft because there was different positions that I would have drafted there, but every player they took was a good player. So who knows with that division? I think Detroit has a good chance of coming out on top.
I would have to 100% agree with you. I'm shocked, actually. I thought you were going to go Jets here.
I thought about it.
So I shocked you in Lions. So of these 4 teams, the Jets are the only team that's better than the Lions,
I agree.
right? And when you look at the division, I mean, the reason why I'm out on the Jets just with this question is because that division with the Jets is so tough.
Yes.
You're competing with the Bills, you're competing with the Dolphins, even the Patriots, right? The Patriots aren't just going to roll over, right? Each one of those games is going to be competitive. Each one of those teams are good, are some more than others, but are playoff caliber teams, right? And so it's just going to be tough for just the nature of competition. There's no room for error when it comes to the Jets this season. If they want to win their division, there's no room for error. Whereas the Lions, there obviously is room for error because that division, as you already pointed out, right, is not as strong as it once was. Everybody there is kind of in some sort of a retooling or rebuilding phase. There's not that dominant team like the Packers were for so long that had it all together for multiple seasons, right? And you could pretty much just always pencil them in. It was going to be the Packers division each and every year. And so at this point, if if the Lions don't win it this year, it's going to be frustrating because I think the Vikings defense is going to get better with Brian Flores. I think the Packers are going to get better once Jordan Love gets a full season under his belt. And I think the Bears are on the up as well. I think the pieces they've added around Justin Fields are going to be up there. So it is going to get a little bit tougher. So as of right now, I would say the most complete team in that division, shockingly to me, actually is the Lions. And so for that reason, I think that this is their year that they can do it. And they need to do it. If not, it's going to be tougher. So the Lions, the Browns, not a chance. The Raiders, not a chance. It's going to be years before either of these teams they do not have the ability to turn anything around.
Yeah.
Regardless of coaches, regardless of GMs, regardless of anything, they just get in this perpetual cycle of suckiness. And I have no idea what it's going to take to get them out of it, but it's not going to happen anytime soon. And dang it probably is not going to happen in our lifetime.
Yeah. No, I think Cleveland's a pretty good team. The only problem is there's a team that resides in their own state in Cincinnati that I don't think they can win that division as long as Joe Burrow's in Cincinnati. I don't think Cleveland's a bad team at all anymore. I think Watson might be coming back as he can't be worse than he was last time. So we can only hope for the best. But I think that team, they did a good, they drafted a lot of players I liked in the draft, and they had a season to get their coaching under control and get set. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Stefanski, but he's on the hot seat, and you either succeed or fail on the hot seat. So who knows? And the other thing about the Lions is it's crazy. The QB in that division with the most playoff experience happens to be Jared Goff.
Went to a Super Bowl.
Nuts. Yes. Won more playoff games than any other of those quarterbacks. Jordan Love hasn't won any. Justin Fields hasn't won any. Kirk Cousins hasn't won any. So,
Well,
Kirk Cousins
Kirk
won
Cousins
one.
has won. Yeah,
He's won one
against the
Saints.
Yeah.
Yes. The year after that, I apologize, in the overtime, but that's just one. Jared Goff has won. I think he won 6. Was in the playoffs. You got deep in the playoffs and then went to the Super Bowl the next year. So it'll be a fun division to watch, definitely.
Yeah, so they'll definitely keep you on the toes. And the Lions started off against the defending Super Bowl champ, so we'll get to see them first and kind of see what that team looks like right out of the gate. So it should be for a fun one.
Absolutely.